Right, so I'm hoping everyone can see my screen. I'm hoping you can see my screen clearly. And also, please, once again, my classes are my webinars are usually very interactive. So please, when I ask questions, do well to respond in the chat, just so I'm sure that you are following with all I'm talking about. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We're also going to talk about Royal Q as a business. Now, for those that have heard of cryptocurrency, maybe from a friend of yours or from a family member or on the news or just plain conversation with friends, you probably wondered, what exactly is crypto? How does it work? And why are people preaching about this? What's the interest in what cryptocurrency is all about? Before we go into what cryptocurrency is, we need to understand that we also have what we call fiat currencies. And by fiat, I mean F-I-A-T. Now, fiat basically means paper money, money that you and I hold in our hands. You can put in your pockets, in your wallets, money that you can exchange for some good or service in your country. Basically, the legal tender of where you are currently residing in. So there are lots of hassles and lots of restrictions that come with our regular banking systems. For example, let's say you have a few friends. You have a friend in Canada, a friend in Sweden, a friend in Australia, a friend in Switzerland, and you like to send them some money. Let's take, for instance, you're in Nigeria. Now, the hassle to send that money is quite tedious. First of all, you need to get to the bank. When you get to the bank, you need to ensure that you can send funds to those countries. You need to ensure that you have the limit to send to those countries. You need to sign some paperwork. Basically, people will know that you are about to send money to somebody somewhere that is not Nigeria. And that is not private. The privacy is gone in regards to that. So the fact that a second party has to know, a third party has to know that you are about to send your own funds is quite troubling. Secondly, if the figure is $1 million or $500,000 or $2 million over to somebody in a different country, the red flags will pop up. They'll probably invite you over for a meeting, ask you what you do for a living, just hinder the smooth experience that it should be, just because you're trying to send your own money to somebody else. So these are a few things that restrict, or a few hindrances when it comes to the regular banking systems that we are used to. But in cryptocurrency is what I mean by these terms. Now, for crypto, it doesn't matter where or who you are sending the funds to. It doesn't matter how much you are sending. It could be $1 million, it could be 500 million, it could be $1 billion, and it would get to the person as quick and as easy as a text message. Now, why I'm also interested in cryptocurrency? Because apart from the fact that it is transparent and it is also anonymous, every single transaction that has ever happened on the cryptocurrency space gets recorded on what we call a blockchain. Now, like I said, this particular webinar is for the newbie, so I'm going to break it down to the barest minimum for the average Joe. So what is a blockchain? Okay, the technology used every week is, let's take for instance, those of us that go to the market. I'm hoping you've experienced, maybe you went to the market, you were purchasing something from someone, and a woman with a notebook came up to that shop. She met the owner of the shop, probably took 1,000 naira or 1,000 from the person and wrote down his name, wrote the amount that was taken, and wrote down the date it was taken. Now, what will she do? From that shop, she moves to the next shop. She takes money from the owner of the shop. She writes down the person's name, and so on. Now, you notice that she keeps doing this from shop to shop until she's done with that particular line. Now, why is she doing that? In Nigeria, I have a say, we have a thing we call a job, where you put money, you contribute money together so that if it's your turn, you can take the bulk of the money to sort out whatever bills you have. So, but why is she writing the name of those people that she's taking money from? Why is she writing the amount? Why is she writing the date? She's doing that because of the future. so that there is no discrepancy as to how much was given to her, as to when the money was given to her, and as to who gave her the money. Why is she writing that notebook? That notebook basically, in terminology of crypto, would be the blockchain, because that notebook has a record of every single transaction that happened, and it cannot be changed because it was written down as of when it was written down. That is the same thing that the blockchain does. Every single transaction gets recorded on the blockchain, and it's amazing because it cannot be changed, it cannot be deleted. Any information that gets uploaded to the blockchain there forever. So yes, right as we speak, I can go to the chain and go back 5 years ago. I was a transaction that probably happened by approximately that anybody can log onto the blockchain and check and verify transactions that the person who sent the funds, the person who received the funds as well. That's the power of cryptocurrency. So moving on, for those that don't understand that crypto is here to stay, these are a few statistics for you to sink your teeth into. The first one is this info is a little outdated because it states that over 420 million crypto users worldwide. 420 million. But as of last week, I was watching a video and it was updated that as we speak right now, approximately 560 million people own crypto, use crypto worldwide. So these figures right here are already outdated. So that's showing that right now as we speak, crypto is currently and it keeps evolving as the day goes by. These are the top countries that hold crypto. The first one is the USA at approximately 46 million people. Next, we have India at 27 million. Next, we have Pakistan, 26 million. We have Nigeria at 22 million plus. And finally, we have Vietnam at 20 million plus. So, like I said, this info is already outdated, so you should know that those figures have already increased drastically. So, moving on. For you to get involved with anything cryptocurrency, for you to sell or receive or send anything cryptocurrency, you need to get involved with what we call a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, what is an exchange? An exchange is basically a platform or a marketplace where you can purchase cryptocurrencies, you can sell, you can buy, you can keep cryptocurrencies as well for future use. Now, there are different cryptocurrency exchanges out there for you to take advantage of. We have Binance, Coinbase. So for those that could hear me, what are the two main? Can anybody hear me? Can anyone hear me clearly? Breaking.
I hear you. Go ahead. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So, can you hear me clearly now? Should I,
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
all right, great. Okay, I'll just go back a few seconds to what I was saying before I ask my question again. So, on this slide, I said that before you get involved with anything cryptocurrency, you need to be involved with what we call a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, an exchange is basically a platform or a marketplace where you purchase cryptocurrencies, you sell, you buy. You can also keep cryptocurrencies there for future use. So I also said that there are different cryptocurrency exchanges out there for you to take advantage of. We have Coinbase, we have Binance, we have Kraken, we have Bybit, we have KuCoin. There are so many cryptocurrency exchanges out there that you can use. Things I mentioned when in regards to the blockchain. I mentioned two words when in regards to the blockchain. Can you please type it in the chat? Can you please type the two main things, the two main characteristics I mentioned in regards to the blockchain? For those that were listening, can you please mention the two main things that I mentioned in regards to the blockchain, the two main characteristics in regards to the blockchain? We have approximately 50 people on this call, so I'm hoping at least 10% of you guys were paying attention. So please type in the chat before I go ahead. Nobody? I need to see like 5 responses before I go ahead. If not, it means that nobody's paying attention. Two main things in regards to the blockchain. What are the two main things in regards to the blockchain? There are two main words I mentioned in regards to the blockchain. Transactions are recorded. Okay, that's an explanation. But there are two main things, two main words I said in regards to the blockchain. Anybody else? Thank you for trying, Rosaline. Anybody else? Okay, someone says the history. Someone else says the record cannot be erased. Okay, these are good explanations. So basically, what I said was it can never be deleted. Okay, these are good explanations. But there are two main words I said. I said the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. I will say it again. The blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. And I explained what I meant by those. The first address sends the funds, you can see the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent at that particular time. You can see the wallet address that received the funds. I also said that the blockchain is anonymous. That explanation, I have transactions that are on the blockchain. even though we can see the wallet address that sent the funds, even though we can see the wallet address that received the funds, we cannot tell the people who own these wallet addresses. So I don't know if it is John that sent $5,000 worth of Bitcoin to Jane. I don't know if it is, Mary that sent it to Margaret. I don't. All I can see on the blockchain is that a transaction happened at this time, on this day. It was sent from this wallet to this wallet. This is the amount of crypto that was sent. This is the date and the time it was sent. But I cannot tell who the owners of those wallets are. So now what I say, that the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. So is that clear? If it is clear, please type a yes in the chat before I move on. Please type a yes in the chat before I move on if it's clear. Awesome. Awesome. All right, great. So moving on, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be moving on to trading pairs. So please pay attention from now on. For those that missed out on the question before, please pay attention from now on. So what are trading pairs? By the word pair, you can already tell it's something that's in twos. So trading pairs are explained with your hands. Cryptocurrency is digital money, money that exists only on the internet, that can only be sent through and via the internet. So, but for trading pairs, same thing. We have trading pairs for fiat currencies. We also have trading pairs for cryptocurrencies as well. All right. So you go to an aboke and you're like, how much is pounds to the naira today? How much is the pounds to the naira today? That question you just asked the Bureau de Change is GBP plus NGN. GBP slash NGN, which simply means Great British Pounds slash Nigerian Naira. You are asking him, please, how much as of today is the Great British Pounds to my local country, my local currency, the Nigerian Naira? So I hope that is clear. So for us to ensure that everybody understands, let's do a little. You go to the US. Somebody hands over for for the local legal tender of whatever of the country you're in. Can you please type in the chat what would the trading pair be for that particular transaction? Remember, B for that transaction. please type.
Hello, George, can you hear me? We can't hear anything at all. You've gone completely quiet. We can't hear a single thing. Let's give him some time. I think it's his network. Okay, let's give George some time. Thank you.
Can anyone hear me now? Can anyone hear me now?
I hear you. I hear you. We lost you for a bit there.
Please, if you can hear me, please type a yes. If you can hear me. If you can hear me, please type a 2, sorry. If you can hear me, please type a 2. Okay, all right. Sorry for that. Sorry for the break in transmission. Network here is very, very shaky. So sorry. So sorry. Please, can someone tell me the last thing they heard? So I'm sure that were paying attention. What was the last thing you heard? What was the last thing you heard? What was the last thing you heard? Okay, currency pairs. All right, currency pairs. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen again, and then we'll continue. So sorry for the transmission uh, issues. So, all right, great. So I was talking about trading pairs, and I talked about the fact that we have trading pairs for fiat currencies. We also have trading pairs for cryptocurrencies. Now, I give an example of a friend of yours that a friend of yours comes to see you and hands over £100 bill to you. And the next day you decide to go exchange that for your legal tender of your country. So you head to the Bureau de Change or you head to an booking and like, I beg, how much is the pounds to the naira today? Because you're looking to change the £100 note, your legal tender, which is the naira. Now, that question you are asking the Bureau de Change is GBP/NGN, Great NGN, which means Nigerian Naira. So I hope that is clear for being pairs. So I asked the question. I said, please pay attention. So let's know that everybody's following. Let's take, for instance, you head over to the USA, America. While you're in America, a friend of yours gets America from the UK and hands over £100 note to you. You're in the US, a friend of yours comes from the UK to the US and hands over £100 note to you. So you decide to go exchange this for the legal tender of the country you are in. Can you please type what the trading pair for that transaction would be? Please type what the trading pair of that transaction would be in the chat, please. Okay. All right. So Jude says GDP NGN. No, that is wrong. UCC said GDP USD. That is also wrong. Someone says USDT pounds. That is also wrong. Abdulaziz says GBP/USD. Awesome. Now that's the correct one. Remember, I said you're not in Nigeria. You travel to the US. So basically, your location at the time is the United States of America. A friend of yours returns or travels from the UK over to the US, meets you there, and gives you £100 note. Now, because you're in the US, you can't spend the £100 note. You decide to go exchange the notes for the legal tender, which is the official currency of the country you're in. Obviously, because you're in the US, the legal tender for that country is the United States dollar. So basically, you would need to go and exchange the all right. So the trading pair for that transaction would be GBP/USD. Keep typing GDP. It's not GD. It's GBP. Great British Pounds. Right. That I hope that is very understandable. One more example. Okay, so I'm sure everybody has followed. Let's say you are in Nigeria and someone comes over to you, someone if yours returns from Japan, all right, and hands over the Japanese currency to you. When they hand over the currency to you, you decide to go exchange it for your legal, what the trading pair for that transaction would be. Remember, you're in Nigeria, your turns from Japan, hands over the official legal tender of Japan to you. You decide to go exchange it for your legal tender in your country. Can you please type what the trading pair for that transaction would be? Awesome. So you see said JPN slash NGN. That is wrong. Abdulaziz says JPY slash the Nigerian Naira. Awesome. Bashir says JPY slash NGN, same thing. Awesome. So yes, the correct answer is JPY slash NGN, which basically means Japanese yen slash the Nigerian Naira. Awesome. So I'm happy that a lot of people have started following. And that is basically how trading pairs work. And remember, all these examples I've given you right now, from the Japanese yen to the Great British pounds to Nigerian Naira, these are examples of fiat trading pairs. Paper money, and put in your wallets, put in your pockets, the official legal tender of whatever country you are residing in at the time. All right? That is an example of fiat trading pair. Fiat currencies. We also have trading pairs for cryptocurrencies and also digital currencies. And right here, this is an example of one. We have BTC slash US. This simply means that you have some Bitcoins and you would like to know what the value of this USDT. That's simply what this means. You have some Bitcoins, you're holding some Bitcoins, excuse me, and you'd like to know what the value of those Bitcoins you're holding are in USDT. That is USDT. I'm sure you can see USD there, so you have an idea of what it means. United States dollar. But what is this T at the end? The T basically stands for tether. Tether. When you hear tether, tether simply means something that's attached to something else. Something tethered to something attached to something else. So USDT, which simply means United States, is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. I'll say it again. USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular fiat dollar. Remember, a regular fiat dollar is just USD, paper money, money you can put in your hands, in your pockets, and so on. But USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of that money. You can't put a USDT in your pocket, in your physical pocket. You can't put USDT in your wallet, your physical wallet. You can't hold USDT in your hands. This is the cryptocurrency equivalent of what a regular dollar is. So yes, one USDT is equal to one USD. One USD is also equal to one USDT. So I hope that is clear. So knowing all, can you please, for those that have a little idea of cryptocurrency, and if you can help those that are new to this, can you give us a few examples of some crypto trading pairs that you know and you've probably come across in the chat? Please type them in the chat. Please give examples of some cryptocurrency trading pairs in the chat for those that. All right, so Kate says NOT/USDT, awesome. USDT. Awesome. UCC says BTC/ETH, which means Bitcoin/Ethereum. Awesome. Bashir says we have ETH, which is the Ethereum/USDT. Sanusi said, awesome. Rosalind said, no, example of a trading pair. You just mentioned a cryptocurrency exchange. All right. Yeah. He says Reef/USDT, also correct. Acro/USDT. Correction as to what trading pairs are. Binance is just a cryptocurrency exchange where you can buy crypto, you can sell, you can receive, you can save for future use. For these examples here you are seeing are all examples of crypto trading pairs. All right, so I hope that is for everyone else. Let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about some basic investment strategies when it comes to crypto. How can you earn more crypto? How can you increase the ones that you have as of now? What are the strategies to take for you to make more of these cryptocurrencies? Now, the first one is what we call HODLING. HODLING, which is a play on the word holding. HOLDING. Now, what does this mean? An example I always give every week is, remember, I told you this call is for the newbies. So I'm going to break it down to the barest minimum so that you understand it. Even a 5-year-old can understand what about. So what is hodling? Now, let's use an everyday example. Let's take, for instance, let's say 10 years ago, a friend of yours came to you and told you that there is a piece of land she's looking at buying, but also there's another one right next to hers, and she would like you, to go ahead and buy that piece of land. Now, thankfully, you have some money with you that you are looking to invest. You are looking to put it to good use so that it doesn't, just build or, like spend it on frivolity. If you can, please type a 2 in the chat if you can hear me completely. All right, sorry, so sorry. I got a call that knocked me off. So sorry. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again, and then we round off quickly. Okay, so I was talking about hodling, basic investment strategies, and how you can help how you can increase the number of crypto that you have, basically make more crypto. And I said the first way is by what we call hodling, HODLING, which is a play on the word holding, HOLDING. Now, what does this mean? So I'm going to give an everyday example so that you follow. Now, let's take, for instance, 10 years ago, a friend of yours came to you and told you that there was a piece of land she's looking to buy, but also there's another one right next to hers, and she's hoping that you also invest. So thankfully, you have like ₦1 million that you're looking to invest. You are looking to put it to good use so that you don't just waste it on bills or frivolities. So thankfully, you purchased that piece of land for ₦1 million. Now, your plan is that you are not going to sell off this land no matter what happens. You are holding on to this land for dear life. You are, no matter the juicy offers that come your way, no matter how juicy the offer is, you are not selling until 2024. That is your long-term plan. That is your long-term vision for this piece of land that you have purchased. So you told yourself that no matter what happens, you are holding onto this piece of land. Let's say months down the line, 3 months or 4 months down the line, somebody comes to you with a very juicy offer and they offer you ₦5 million for that same land that you bought for 1 million 5 months ago. To people, that's a very juicy offer. That is a very nice return on investment. But you told yourself, no, you're not selling. You are holding on to 2024. So thankfully, you decide, everything, life goes on. You forget about the land. You just move on with your life. And fast forward now to 2024. That friend of yours comes to you and tells you she's about to start building. You go there and you make your inquiries. And now it turns out that a piece of land around that area is now currently worth approximately 30 million. So now you see that you made the right decision by holding on to that piece of land, by not selling, by not budging, by simply holding onto that piece of land. And now it is worth way more than you had invested. So that is a simple context, simple explanation of what hodling means. Now, obviously, the piece of land in this scenario would refer to cryptocurrencies. So yes, people made a lot and still make a lot of money from hodling cryptocurrencies. How? For example, when Bitcoin came out, the first time Bitcoin came out, Bitcoin was less than $1. Bitcoin was in cents, literally. So picture buying 10 Bitcoins for 10 cents each. You would um as it so right now as we speak, one Bitcoin is approximately $6,000. One Bitcoin. This is a thing that you probably bought for 10 cents. So if you want to know how much you would have right now if you had invested $1 years ago, you would simply need to do $67,000 times 10. So right now, for an investment of one, I know that you such returns in such time frame, except in cryptocurrency. So that is the power of. So for the hodling, traders, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market, understand when to trade, when not to trade, what coin to trade at the time. You need to be very aware of news, of what is happening in the world. Because yes, events around the world turn around a trade for good or for bad. So you need to always be in tune with what the world. These are two examples of where you can multiply crypto. The first way is by hodling. Gains. Remember, you want to get the market, make profit, and leave, which is quite different. Hodling. You know, quick buck, looking to get into the market and get out, in and out. So that's how day traders work. But you must not be one or the other. Don't get me wrong. You must not be data, or you must not be a hodler. And why? Because there are so many of them, you can buy them and keep them. But there are also coins that you can also look at and trade short term. Those are the ones that you can trade for short term. So yes, you can be both. You can be a day trader. You can also be a hodler as well. All right. So moving on to why we are here today. Everything we've talked about today will be important to you for from trading pairs. There's nothing that people want to intelligence, right? Right now, AI is helping us in what whether you're a businessman or a woman, you are, UI UX developer, everything that has to work. There is an AI tool easier for us. Because right now, for example, in the US, we have Tesla, you know, run by Elon Musk. Tesla. They produce, in the day, let's say to 40 years ago. In the future, we would have self-drive cars, cars that you don't need to steering, you don't need to, all you need to do is China right now. We have self-driving taxi companies, self-driving taxi companies that don't have a single driver. All to do is on your phone, select where you are going to, stand at the designated spot. The car will drive up to where you are. You get in, and it takes easily. Most dated you have been, because every single day, good day, it gets better. People keep getting new ideas. here to help make here help make which is where RoyalQ comes into play. RoyalQ helps make your trading easier. What it is you're doing with your life, the employee. This will trade on your behalf, give you return. This page right here, trader, and on the right, traders are not profitable. A lot of traders that are very profitable, but there's only so much you can. It's impossible to do that. To go, going from one screen to the other, watching when to enter, when not to enter for 50 different trades. That is tedious. It's impossible as a human being. And also as a trader, you trade emotions. So you feel I have bills to pay. My rent is supposed to, I you're not making trading with emotions, and 9 times out of 10, that would lead to losses. But on the right here, we have the AI tool. The AI tool doesn't care if you have bills to pay. It doesn't care if you have your rent to do in 2 days' time. It just executes. It just performs its duty. It just trades, just makes money for you. It doesn't care what you need to do. It doesn't care if you need to make money today. It just executes. And the good thing too is that there are no limits to what it can monitor at a time. It can monitor 50 to 100 trades and more with ease, which is something a human being can physically not do. That is what our RoyalQ bot can do for you and I. Excuse me. So, how does the RoyalQ bot read? On the left here, you can see a diagram. You have the RoyalQ bot on the left, have PI in the middle, and have Binance on the right. This Binance basically stands for your digital bank account. All right. Now, all your money, if there's one, not send your money to anyone. A lot of us have been part of businesses that have failed, um, people that promised you a lot of returns. And one problem with those businesses, you have to send money, they will trade for you or trade on your behalf, and then they will send you your returns. They will send you a percentage per day or a percentage per week or per month. And obviously, I'm sure that you know, of us have experienced such things. Remains in your possession. Also remain in your own possession. What do I mean? Digital bank accounts. So thing pertaining to security is in your hands because your funds are in your own wallet, in draw except you. No one can make you withdraw except you. All your funds are in your custody and everything pertaining to security is in your hands because you have password, you have the 2FA, you have the email addresses, and nobody. This API here, a lot of us have experienced, back in the day, maybe you were in school or you were just on the road or at work, and someone walked up to you with we have amazing services. Maybe you looked at the form and you decided to, I'm going to go ahead and join this bank. That marks us as the API because they are the ones that join, the ones synced, they're the ones that connected you to this bank right now. They're the ones that made that connection between you and the bank. So that's what the API does here. The API helps you connect your RoyalQ bot to your personal digital account. Remember, your capital, profit all remain in your own possession. The RoyalQ bot only trades it for you and leaves it all in there for you as well. That's very powerful. There is other business out there that I know that does this. All of the businesses out there want you to send funds to them, they'll send it to you. For this one that control funds. Now, how does the RoyalQ bot trade for us? How do they make profits for us? Now, the major way the RoyalQ bot trades for us, what we call spot trading. It might sound technical, but trust me, it is not. In the chat, please, can you type every man and woman before they start the business, before they back the business, say, okay, I want to start this business. There's something they have at the back of their mind that they want to make when they start this business. It's one word I'm looking for. Can you please type that in the chat? Every businessman and woman, when they're starting a business, what is that one thing? What is that one thing that they want when they start a business? Breaking again. Wow. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear me now?
I still hear you loud
Okay,
and
awesome.
clear.
Yes, to make profits. Profits is the major thing when it comes to, businessman or woman starting a business. So spot that there are no I'll give you an example. You have to buy a bag of rice. You buy a bag of rice for 30,000. Whenever it gets to 60,000. That is your plan. But something now happens in the market and the price of rice now drops 30,000. It drops to 25. It drops to 20. It drops to 15. Now, as a businessman or woman, well, for the masses, it's a good thing because they get to buy rice for cheaper. But a businessman or woman, it's not good for you because to you, you are losing money. But have you actually money at that time? So yes, the market will go down. It will go down. to when you first bought the, you can't make, because by the time the bag of rice gets back to 30,000 naira per bag, wait a bit to make some more profits from that bag of rice. The only thing that you would have lost during this entire scenario would have been time, the time it took you to wait for the market to fluctuate and eventually get back. Now remember, this entire scenario, when can we say that you've finally had an actual loss? We would say that you've had an, say for instance, when that bag of rice dropped from 30,000, dropped to 25,000, or it dropped to 20,000, and you've been waiting for, days or weeks, and, you're out of chance. You're telling yourself, I can't wait anymore for this price to return to when I bought it. Let me just say it like that, Joe. As soon as you sell off at that point, anything lower than the don't sell, even though the price is less than when you bought it, as long as you are loss. FLIN. Then we can see if you have the patience and the market recovers, then you can sell off at a break-even point or wait for that to make some decent profit. It's simply what spot trading is: buying low and selling high. And I'm sure that by now you understand that a bag of rice in this example simply means a cryptocurrency or a coin. So yes, spot trading, buying low, selling high. All right, the the next strategy Roku uses to help you make money is what we call the martingale. What is dollar cost averaging all about? Let's, for instance, we have a man, let's say his name is Mr. John. Mr. John decides to buy a cryptocurrency for $200. And his plan is that when he gets to $500, he's going to sell profit. That is his plan. But something now happens. The price now drops. Coin is now worth, it keeps dropping. Now worth 150. It's now worth 120. Mr. John is wondering, what should he do? Should he sell off? Should he wait? What exactly should he do? But thankfully, Mr. John decided to wait for the market. No matter how long it takes him, to make more profits. That is the first scenario for Mr. John. Now, what is the martingale strategy? Let's say, for instance, there is a lady, Miss Jane, and Miss Jane decides to do the same thing Mr. John has done. That's devaluing. $200, it's now worth 190. It goes down to 150, 190, even $90. You buy a coin for $200 and it drops down to 90. But Miss Jane isn't panicking because she understands how the market works. She understands that there's always fluctuation in the market. She understands that whatever goes down will come up. And so she waits for the market. But she did it with a difference. Remember, all Mr. John did was he waited for the market to go down, come up eventually. So when it was $200, when it dropped to 190, she bought more points. When 50, she bought more. When it dropped, just kept buying more while John, remember, wait for the market to go for Miss Jane of one. So if you were either of both of them, which strategy would you pick? Would you pick John's strategy or would you pick Miss Jane's strategy? Please type in the chat. Would you have picked Mr. John's strategy or would you have picked Miss Jane's strategy? Oh man, network is terrible. If you heard everything I said, please type a yes in the chat. If you heard all I said, please type a yes in the chat if you heard all I said. So this Okay, so sorry for the network issues. This is very new. This second, please. Um, maybe the recording you will hear me better. The recording share group after we're done. But yeah, all I'm trying to explain here is the martingale strategy is a very powerful strategy that the Royal bot uses, whereby it buys even when the market is going down. It keeps buying when the market is going down because when the market recovers, you will have made way more money. So I'm just going to quickly round up so that we can call it a night. These are just operations that Royal bot can do for you. The first one is a cycle strategy. The next one is a one-shot strategy. Cycle simply means you are instructing your Royal bot to keep trading until return, to keep practicing the same thing until you return. Next, we have the one-shot strategy, which is where you are telling your bot to trade just once. You are giving it a one-time instruction to trade once. Now, the monthly profits for these strategies are for cycle from 5 to 30%, and one shot from 5 to 100% is what you can make from that. So, moving on, trading income. What kind of income do you make in RoyalQ? The first one is the trading income that you make when the bot sells in profits for you. We call that the trading income. Next, we have the team trading profits, which is profits that you make when your team members make profits as well in RoyalQ. You also make profits. Finally, we have the affiliate income. When you bless people with this business, you also get a commission for bringing them into this business. Now, for the fuel fee at the top right here, this is 20%. Every time the bot sells successfully for you, 20% of that goes to your team.
George, we can't hear a single thing again.
It goes to the company. You need a minimum for your trade app. All right, finally, what do you stand to gain when you start with the RQTMI team? Number one, you get access to the RQTMI premium group to earn more. Next, free training until you become a pro in the RareQ with the RareQ bot. Finally, you get the RQTMI trading setup has guys have
Nice. The network is bad. I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, good.